and welcome to Wesani podcast on the real people's issues. And of course, we deal with issues and matters that have to do with teenagers and young people. And today is going to be very special and exciting because we have an exciting personality right here in the studio with us. And of course, my name remains Michael C. Judge and my co-host, Mrs. Abigail. And right here we have our own U-Zone. Wow, you're welcome, sir. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you in the studio today.
Thank you.
Thank
you for having me.
No, it's not easy to get, people like this come by on a regular. Okay, so today we'll be dealing with something very special, something very important, and that has to do with trends and teens. Trends and teenagers. So that was the subject today. Before we go to our guest, let's hear from our co-host what she has to say concerning trends and teenagers. Thank you.
Trends. I think it's always happening. It's not phones, it's fashions and all that. I remember when I was secondary school, it was BlackBerry that was raining. If you don't have it, you have nothing.
Wow.
Like it's as if you're nobody. And I remember this, and there was this trouser I used to wear then. I've forgotten what it's called, but this silk-like trouser that has. Like,
is it that one that's thin here and fat?
That kind of thing now is no longer available now. So it's always coming up trends and all that. So I just feel like, and sometimes, unfortunately, teenagers they fall prey to these trends. Like if they don't have it now,
they can never have it
again. And depressed. Let me put it that way. Feel sad and frustrated. Like in my secondary school days, it was BlackBerry and I was raining. Like if you don't have BlackBerry, you're nobody.
Wow.
You're a complete nobody. I remember it took a while before I had it though. Like my friends would just come, hey, see my phone. Okay, no problem. I just patiently wait for mine.
Ew.
And mine eventually came when it was almost late because when I had BlackBerry it was 6.
BlackBerry now went.
BlackBerry now, Android now came up.
Okay, sir. So to our guest, U-Zone. So what do you have to say concerning trends and teenagers?
Okay, but before we do that, let's define what a trend is.
Okay.
A trend is the general direction of what or where something is going. It's a movement, right? And there are different kinds of trends. There's trend in business, trend in life, trend in everything. True. So everything has a trend. If you're a trader, you know that there's also a trend in trade. Sometimes we observe the trend. Actually, we trade when the trend moves. So but that's so my guys, they understand that. So but basically that's what a trend is. And then when it comes to trend with young people, teenagers and young people alike, everybody moves with the trend. Basically, everybody moves with the trend because the trend is the direction of where things are going. So if you don't move with the trend, you'll be obsolete. You'll be left behind. But the issue now is not even the movement; it's the managing of the trend. Because sometimes trend can be, let me also use trading now. There can be an upward trend. There can also be a downward trend. So when there's an upward trend, that means it's positive. You buy. When there's a downward trend, you sell. So but in general life, how you understand it is the downward trends are the negative sides of the trend, and then the upward trends are the positive side of the trend. So managing the trend is very, 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 very important. Know when to trend with the trend and know when not to. You understand? So that's basically, So that's basically how it affects young people. So young people most times they're very, very excited about trends. They want to, join what's happening, what's in vogue, and all that.
They want
to be part of the system. So but it's not everything that trends that is positive.
Okay.
So that's basically.
Wow.
That's basically.
Like sorry to cut you. Like in the case of fashion now, based on let me say from my own perspective as a woman, there's this thing off shoulder. When it came, you see,
all those
everybody
kind of
wants to sew off shoulder. But I don't think that's a good trend.
I mean, even if we even talk about fashion and young people now, you see that there's a whole lot of negative trend. There's a whole lot of negative trend in fashion. You understand? We can also talk about a trend in the economy, trend in technology and all that. There's the positive side. There's also the negative side. So how you flow with the trend matters.
Yes.
It matters how or how your life turns out to be eventually. So basically that's
okay. So let's have a kind of focus. There are like you say, everything in life has trends. Everything. Yes, and so but there are certain areas that are very peculiar to young people, peculiar to teenagers, and we are more geared to following in that aspect. Like when it comes to fashion, when it comes to technology, when it comes to even making money, there's a trend.
There's a trend.
Yes,
because
music.
There's music.
Music. Okay, so all of these things, I know these are areas that have to do with. So picking up from fashion, okay, looking at how the fashion industry is going, it's as if we are going back to the Garden of Eden where everybody was naked. Honestly, yes, because most of the things we see today, okay, it's really appalling how, and we are so appeased, like these things appeal more to us as young people. This thing appeal more to us. So what can we say about?
Okay, let me put it this way. The truth is that. Even the Bible says that there's nothing new under the sun. Whatever you see now has happened before.
True.
Exactly.
You understand? Yeah. Whatever you see now has happened before. Okay, the other day I saw a group of young teenagers with the baggy jeans.
Sure.
I started laughing. Like I remember when we used to wear baggy jeans, so they are bringing it back now. It used to be slim fit and all that. Our daddies wore slim fit then. So you see all these trends, they are coming back. There's nothing new. It's not that somebody goes back, brings them back, and then they are wearing it again. But there's nothing new. There's absolutely nothing new. And that's what happened with young people. Yeah. So to them, it is new in their time.
Okay.
Do you understand? So that's why they're making it trendy. It is new in their time. They didn't see us when we wore the baggies. They didn't know when we wore the baggies. So it's new to them now. But to us, we're like, don't wear this one. Well, you get time where we go. You get time where they go reach now, then go come out and start to wear another one.
Sir, when I was in secondary school, my dad went and bought some pairs of trousers for me, and guess what? These trousers, it was pencil leg. Hey! I wore it to one of our school occasions, and they were laughing at me because then it was baggy that was raining. They were calling my trouser a sugarcane seller trouser. I nearly got into depression because of that trouser. I didn't wear it again. Do you know, after some years,
it started raining
again. I said, just imagine. Imagine.
So, and your dad bought it because that was what was his trend then. So now, so you see, that's why most times we tell people when the trend goes, be careful.
Yeah.
You understand? Observe the trend, know what's happening. Observe the trend, ask questions. You understand? Like the Bible always says, what has been will always be. There's nothing new under the sun. Nothing absolutely new. So it's wise people that observe what's happening and then know how to follow.
Wow.
You understand? So that's basically how it is. Trend, good. But the children of Issachar, they had understanding of the times and the season, and then they knew what Israel ought to do. So ability to know what to do in a trendy situation is what matters.
Wow, ability to know what to do in a trendy situation is what matters. Okay, there's something else to
Okay, yeah, like still on this fashion thing now. I remember when sneakers was not really a big deal. Like most when I wear, like years ago, if I wear gown with sneakers, what are you doing now? But now
Kaftan and canvas. I wore kaftan and canvas. I was a laughing stock like men, but today.
So you see, it's now a trend. Another thing is that we are in a generation. We're talking about young people now. So these young people, we are in an influencers generation.
Okay.
So a lot of these young guys are moved by celebrities. A couple of people who call themselves influencers, right? So what they observe is if a certain celebrity dresses in this certain way, it becomes a trend for them. You understand? So, and these celebrities, they know, so they are called. I still want to go back to trading, but it's the same thing. There are people who are trend movers.
Okay.
You understand? There are people who are trend setters. These guys set the trend. They come out, set the trend, and people follow.
Yes.
You understand? So if I want if I want something, if I have a couple of people who are following me, I can start up a movement.
Yeah.
You know, I can start dressing in a certain way. Everybody starts dressing in a certain way, and then it's a trend. It becomes a trend.
That's how
That's how sagging. A lot of things. If you notice, Kanye West, people like Kanye West were trendsetters. You know, they started dressing with torn clothes, torn jeans and torn tops and crazy jeans and all that. You know, and it became a trend. And then he got endorsement from companies who can do so. And trends involves money as well.
Yes,
you know, trends involves money. People invest in trendsetters and trend makers. They invest in them and they make sure that they get value for what you understand. So I can pick up something, pick up a celebrity and say, okay, dress in this certain way.
Yes.
And then it becomes a trend.
You know, and with what you're saying, I remember one time, I'm going to link it up to what you're saying. I remember one time when I was still in school. So I don't know, my course was a practical course. So we always have pencils because we draw and all that. So I started putting my pencil in my ear. You understand? Like this normal carpenter or something. So I started doing it, you know, once, twice. Before I knew it, I saw one other guy in the department started putting his pencil in the ear. A couple of guys, you know, started putting their pencil in the ear. I can't tell myself, I thought they said something. No, so that means for every trend, someone begins.
it, yes.
So now my concern is this. Who should set a trend that we should follow? Is it just that anybody comes up with an idea and we follow? I remember those days when I was still in university. And my course was this practical course, so we normally have pencils because we do a lot of drawing and all that. So I started taking because we always have the pencils. So, and it's easy for me to lose these pencils. So I started putting my pencils in my ear here, just hang it here. So after some days, one other guy in the department started putting his own pencil there. Before you know it, just a matter of a week plus, a lot of guys in the department started putting their pencils there. I was like, almost see me. I don't they set up something where people they follow. So that means when we see something trending, someone started it.
Yes. And
someone started
let me chip. Yes. Okay. I don't want to go. We can go to spiritual, Abi. We can go spiritual. We can go to spiritual. No problem. So it's on court. All right. Okay. Now the thing is this. There are two kingdoms here in the world. Two kingdoms. The kingdom of light and the kingdom of darkness. Undisputed. Nobody should even dispute that. You understand? Evil comes from the kingdom of darkness. Good comes from the kingdom of light. Now, these two kingdoms are at loggerheads.
Okay.
They are always fighting. Nothing will separate them until Armageddon. But now, this is the point I'm trying to make. The kingdom of darkness comes up with their own trend.
Okay.
You understand? The kingdom of light also comes up with their own trend. You understand? So these trends are cooked up from somewhere, and people are used. Okay, let me give you an instance. If I design a new product, and I need to sell that product.
Yes.
There's something I do as a businessman. I get models.
Yeah.
You understand? People who who can influence other people, whether they have followers or not, but they are models. I get them in large numbers, give them my product to either use, to wear, to do whatever they want to do with it, but make sure people are seeing them. Do you understand? So that's how trends occur. So when the kingdom of darkness comes up with their own trend, they look for people who are very influential, and they finance it, you know, make sure people are seeing them and they trend it. The same thing with the kingdom of light. You understand? Just that somehow people in the kingdom of light feel these guys are overshadowing. And that's why you know, I think we're having a conversation earlier, and I told you there's this dichotomy between secular and gospel is actually a major problem. You know, you have to be able to come out from that mindset to understand that this is life. And both of us are in this life together. Whether you're in the kingdom of light or in the kingdom of darkness, both of us are in this life together. So this is life. So how you influence life, how you live life is very, very important. Very, very important. And it determines who you represent. You're representing God, represent him very well. If you're representing the devil, represent him very well. You know, in as much as we like everybody to represent God, you know, but
you cannot really force.
You cannot really,
my brother once said something to me. He was like, if you want to be good, be very good.
Be very good.
And if you want to be bad, be
Be
very,
very bad. Don't be in the
The
middle.
camera now, you are bad. You are bad.
Let's know. Yeah, let's know
Don't be
where you are.
confusing.
You
Don't be
know. So
confusing.
you see what the trend does. So people move with the wind of trend. You know, wind of and sometimes most people don't really understand it. Now, let me even tell you another instance. Right, the people who are trend makers know what they are doing.
Know what they are doing. Yeah,
Yes.
they are intentional.
You understand? They are intentional
Yes,
about it. They
yes,
know what they are doing.
yes.
But there are other people who sometimes we call them blind witches. You know, those ones are followers. They don't really know
what's up with
why.
that particular-
No, they don't know. They just know that, man, this thing is trendy and I like
they
it.
just,
You understand? But the people who are trend movers, they know what they are doing. So when they set the trend, they know their aim. They know what they want to achieve.
So-
There are certain
wow.
trends going on now. These guys are intentional about what they are doing, but other people are just following, like zombies, and they have a lot of things that they use. Number one, they use the media
Of
to
course,
sell
of
their
course,
trends.
yeah.
So a lot of things are happening in the world today that young people, if you're not enlightened, if you don't know so much, you just flow.
What you said is very, very strategic. Every trend has a purpose to fulfill.
Yes.
No trend just comes up because somebody just thought about something. No, it is there's
It
an
has a
intentional
purpose.
purpose
It has a purpose.
for it. And sometimes, especially we young people, we follow these things not knowing that we are advancing that purpose.
Yeah.
We follow these trends not knowing that we are fulfilling the purpose for which that is. But because it is appealing to you, because it is satisfying to you, because it is something that you like, you just do it. So that brings us to the point. Should people follow trends because an influential person started it, and should people follow trend because they like it?
Okay, to answer this question, knowledge is very, very key. Knowledge is very, very important. When something starts trending, find out about it.
Yeah.
Find out.
Have research about it. Information is key. Let me go down a little history. I'm a media guy.
Okay.
Right? Every purpose from every media development or every media development in life or in time has a purpose for it. Number one, Moses wrote the 5 books, right, of the Bible.
Yeah.
Now Moses wrote it, but communication didn't start with writing. Communication started orally.
Yeah.
You understand? So a couple of people lived their life before Moses came and wrote it. Now, oral communication started with God first. Genesis chapter 1, the Bible
God
says, and
said.
God
God
said.
said.
So oral communication. That's the media advancement at that time.
Okay.
You understand?
Words, just
yes,
oral.
oral words. And then when Moses wrote books of the Bible, God communicated to him orally. And he wrote them down. Now, why did Moses write it down? Because he had education of how to write.
Right.
While he was in Egypt.
Egypt. So while writing was ongoing, another advancement in technology came, which was printing press.
Okay.
The printing press, Gutenberg, and a lot of people.
Yeah.
So they started printing those things because writings were done in parchments then. So printing press now started, and that's where paper, they started developing paper, and then and books and all that. After the printing press, we now had the normal television, radio advancement. Now all these technologies happened for a reason. Number one, for the advancement of the kingdom. That was the purpose. And the truth is that God is a trendsetter. As a matter of fact, he's a trend maker.
Yes.
Let's even use it that way.
Yes.
God is a trend maker. So he put in all these things, he put all these things in place so as to advance the kingdom. Let's take the Tower of Babel, for instance. They were speaking one language, so they were united and they were in a place. God wanted to spread them all over the earth. He now made languages. So you see where language thing now came. You understand? So language now spread them. When it was time for writing, it was Moses and the children of Israel that were writing. But all of a sudden, when the children of Israel were now taken into captivity and all that, they spread. Yes, so they have taught other people how to. So you see how those writings started spreading and all that. And mind you, Moses learned how to write from Egypt. So you know that technology, Egypt actually began civilization and all that. So after that, they moved, and then when they started hiding information about the Bible, about scriptures.
Yeah.
People like Martin Luther, came up. They were the ones that now decided, okay, and that was when the Protestant Revolution started.
Yeah.
And that Protestant Revolution started because they wanted everybody to have a copy of the Bible. And that's where the printing press. So you see, there was a need. There was a need. So that's where every trend meets a need. Every trend meets a need. When it now came to television, radio, and all that, man, this is like communicating to the airwaves. So airwaves met a need. So you can stand here. It's called mass communication. So you can stand here and speak to millions of people just at a spot. You understand?
Yeah.
But after TV, radio, there came a need for another technological advancement, and that's the internet.
Yeah.
You understand? The internet came, it could reach people everywhere. You can now have your smartphone faster than what your smartphone now does, a whole lot of things. You understand? Split seconds, you understand? So you're getting this. So after now, the new technological advancement that is coming up now is the artificial intelligence.
Yes.
Artificial intelligence is here to meet a need. Sometimes the challenge we have, most of us as church people, is that most times because we don't understand because and why you don't want to get entangled is because you don't know why.
You don't understand.
You don't understand the purpose behind it. So once you understand the purpose behind the trend, you will know why, and then you will use it effectively. So that's why we're advising people, go and get knowledge in technology. Go and understand what AI means. Go and, learn all these things. The world is moving fast now. Artificial intelligence might take over jobs from people, but you can't take over jobs from people like me. You understand? Why?
Because you understand what
you understand.
I know how to meet up.
And apart from that, and I know why it is here. You understand? So the why is what will actually push you. So when you understand trends like this, it's easier for you not to flow with the negative trend. You're not really concerned about
what we need to tell people is to gain knowledge.
Knowledge is very, very important.
So
get information about
why, then you can
now know. Yes, when you know the why. And the thing is that study to know the why. Study. You can never take away study. See, the Bible even says that my people perish for lack of knowledge. You understand? God even said, He said, because you lack knowledge and understanding, I will spew you out of my mouth. So God hates people that are ignorant. And the truth is that God can never use you to a certain limit if you are ignorant.
You will disgrace Him.
You can imagine 3 million people in Egypt. And God went to look for a man that was intelligent, Moses, to bring him back to lead them. Why? Because somebody who is literate, who advanced. Do you understand? So that I can use you. You understand?
Yeah.
I mean, they were supposed to stay there for 400 years. They ended up staying for 430. 430 because a man ran away. So they had to bring him back to come and continue the work. You understand? So these are some of the things.
This is really exciting. So for the young people listening out there, before you follow a trend, understand the purpose. Understand it. Every trend you see has a purpose behind it. Every purpose, like Yuzon has said, every trend has a need it has come to solve. And if the purpose of that trend does not suit your value system, why that means there's no need for you to follow it.
Okay, the thing is that when the use of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. The reason why most of all these things, truth is that let's be very, very honest here. Satan does not create anything.
True, yes.
He doesn't create anything.
True.
You understand?
Yeah.
What Satan does is he watches what God does and then he tries to infiltrate it.
True, sir.
And then to suit his own purpose. So everything God created is good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Everything God created is good. It's just that Satan comes, infiltrates it, puts in and corrupts it, puts in corruption in it. So you see, some of the negative trends that are coming is because it's like, we cannot have a fake 2,000 naira note.
Yes.
Because there's no 2,000.
There's no 2,000
naira note. You understand? True. But we now have fake 1,000 naira notes. Why? Because there are 1,000 naira. There's an original. So everything you're seeing stems out from an original.
Yeah.
So the thing is, when people are connected to God, they understand the purpose of a thing. Once they understand the purpose of a thing, they are able to go in the right direction. Once you don't understand the purpose of that thing, you will keep going in the negative. You will never go right. You will keep going in the negative. So that's why understanding the purpose of a thing is very, very important. Very, very important in movement of trends. Very, very important in achieving why you are even here on earth. It's very, very important. So everybody knows that. Let me tell you the truth. All of us here, we have the reasons why we're here.
True. Yes, of course.
So in our own field, we are also trend makers. In our own field. The thing is, do you know? So most times why people fail is that you follow what other people are doing. And do you know, let me even tell you, a trend might not even be something new. Just like I said earlier, there's nothing new under the sun. A trend might not be something new. A trend can be something you just change from something and it becomes a trend. It's just something you just change. We used to barb our hair normal before. Then when people started putting marks on their hair, it became a trend. Like the one you have here. So you see, it has become a trend. Most people now do it now. Do you understand? We used to barb normal too. People started barbing mohawk, punk, and different styles. It became a trend. You understand? They just did things differently.
Like in my line of business, I do branding and all that. So with branding, you can communicate an idea.
Yes.
With branding, you can sell something, even without you talking to someone. For example, I can look at the shirt you're wearing. The shirt, what you're wearing is branded.
Sharp.
This is an image, and it's communicating something.
Yes.
Now you see that it's a trend because normally you can just, before you used to sew your clothes and just like that. But because people can communicate their business, people can communicate their ministry, people can communicate an idea through their clothes. So that means, in as much as, sometimes I watch some music videos, I see some clothes they wear, and you see some images on those clothes.
They mean
it's communicating something.
It's communicating.
Now, someone will go and look for that. Someone brought a cloth for me, a hoodie, and an image for me to hear. So I was looking at the image. The image had the face of a dog whose tongue was out and all that. I thought myself, now this image is no pure. But the truth is that this person might have seen this image somewhere and wants to have it on his shirt. Because sometimes it gives them a sense of belonging, that they belong to that kind of thing. So that means you can actually use your clothes. It is trending. Now, what are you selling with the trend? What are you communicating with the trend? So you can, if you're a believer, you can communicate Jesus with your trend. Get your customized polos, hoodies, and all that. Put in something. I mean, Jesus get. Some of the nonsense we are talking about, they are written on clothes.
A lot.
There's one that I would do for the sense of for the sake of my own value. I wouldn't even say some of them. But all of those crazy things you see on clothes and all that, and because he saw an influencer, maybe a celebrity, wear this thing. It becomes something that is appealing to you because say this person they do this and now make me do it.
Sorry, but you don't really have to be a celebrity to start up a trend. Like what you say, everybody has an influence.
Of course,
everybody has.
Like I remember in my university days, like is my own personal dealing with the Holy Ghost. He told me no trouser.
Yeah.
Wow.
Personal dealing.
Personal dealing, no trouser. I was always on gown. I was always on skirts. So one day, somebody came to me like, the person called me by the name of my church, Dominion City. I'm like, hello? No, I was shocked. Like, I know you're always looking decent and all that. And I noticed that my friends, I started influencing them. Like, they will wear a decent dress without me saying, do this. Because of the way I dress. Started influencing them. So you don't really have to be up there, so to speak.
No, you don't have
to. At your level, you have an influence on people.
Yeah.
So just
John Maxwell. Yes, John Maxwell said something. He said,
you can set your own trend.
John Maxwell said, there's something you have that is better than the next 10,000 people.
True.
You understand? So everybody has a uniqueness like that.
Yeah.
And the Bible even said that one will chase 1,000 and 2 10,000. So if you compare what these two guys said now, you see, one chasing 1,000 means at least you can influence 1,000 people, a minimum of 1,000 people. Imagine going to heaven and these 1,000 are standing behind
oh
you.
my God.
And they're like, man, you are the one that influenced us in what we're doing. You see, so that's why the consciousness of how you live your life is very important. You don't know who is watching you. You don't know who is influenced by you. Something happened. I posted about a business one time on Facebook. And the young lady called me and she said, Uzone, I saw what you posted, I'm interested. I said, okay, fine. I said, but why are you so interested in this thing? She said, I have observed you all the while, from when you were on air till now. You have never put your hand in anything negative.
Wow.
So that's why I believe in this business. I was shocked myself. I didn't know. I mean, this is like 15 years, more than 50 years, and people still remember.
Wow.
So you don't know how influential you are to people until you start something.
True.
And then people start getting inspired by you. You know, people are looking for who to follow. That's we're in a generation. Yeah, it's true. Young people are looking for who to follow. You are their pastor. They want to follow what you're doing. You know, that's why you need to be careful. You know, there are some places I can't go to.
No matter
You
how
know,
tempting
where
it
no
is.
matter how tempting. Apart from even tempting, sometimes it's not even really bad. It's just that I can't explain to these young people who are following me what I'm doing there.
Even if your intention
Even if
is
the intention is
There's
right.
enough
Do you understand? You can't really explain it to
good
them.
intentions are
Because
not enough.
what happens is that, I think even the Bible says it, well, this generation comes, does it like, the next generation multiplies it by 2.
Wow.
You understand?
Yeah.
The other generation, so and that's why trend spreads. You know, the generation by generation come, you now see, oh, before people used to wear, you know, why people used to wear, you know, this thing ladies wear, singlet, those singlet-like clothes, spaghetti clothes, and all those things. My sisters, them, and my aunties, they used to wear it in the house because it was hot. So people used to wear it for the weather.
Yes.
All of a sudden,
It's now
it's
something
no
that
longer
people
for the
can-
weather.
Even in rainy season.
You understand? So people wear it in winter, and you understand. So you see, and you can't start explaining. Oh, okay. Let me even tell a story. A young man was married to a lady, and he's a very rich man. So he bought a cow for Christmas, and then they were going to use it for Christmas, and then maybe the New Year to celebrate. So they slaughtered the cow and then fixed up everything, and then he told his wife, okay, meet Abalakasa. You guys just fix up whatever you want to fix up. So when he came back, he noticed that everything inside the cow, liver, intestine, everything was thrown away.
Wow.
Everything was thrown away.
Wow.
You know. So he came back. He wanted pepper soup. Where are this? And they say, they threw it away. So the man got angry. Asked his wife, why did you throw away this very, very essential part of this thing? He said, that's how I saw my mom do it.
Ooh.
You know, so
Maybe, and the mom did it in chicken.
yeah, so
cow.
just watch. So when she did it, he said that he drove to the mom's house and then asked the mom, this is what my wife did. I bought a cow, she threw away everything inside the cow. Oh, the mom said, that's how I saw my mom do it too.
Wonderful.
And amazingly, the grandma was still alive. So when he drove to the grandma's house, she was old and all that. I said, my son, you know, why are you here? You're not a troublemaker. What's happening? Why is your face like this? He said, grandma, see what my wife did. And I went to your daughter, her mom. The mom told me that that's how you used to do. That's why I'm here. So, grandma, why did you throw away everything, the essentials, in the cow? And she said, my son, during our time, there was no refrigerator.
Wow.
So because we don't want these things to get spoiled, because when they mix, they spoil, so we just threw them away. That's how my wife, my daughter saw it and did it, and the daughter. So you see, the purpose originally started from the grandma, but these two did not know why.
Yeah, they didn't know why.
Understand.
So she told him, he said, but now in your time, there's refrigerator. There's no need. So you see how people behave with trends.
Trends.
When they don't know,
They abuse it. True. Wow, this is.
This is a message for today.
I tell you. When the purpose is not known, the trend is abused. Wow. Kai. I'm just feeling something about that. Yes, because personally, there are certain things I've done, and I didn't even know the reason why those things have been. Just because a couple of guys are doing it, everybody is doing it.
We all made
you
that
just
mistake.
go ahead.
We all made that
and
mistake.
do it.
We all made that mistake.
Oh.
You know, the moment you give your life or your time to knowledge, it changes a lot of things. See, knowledge is a game changer. Knowledge is a game changer. That's why, number one, I cannot be put in a box. People can't put me in a box. You can't put me in the box of trend. You understand? I'm following God, and He sets the trend for me. You know. So, and then I have an assignment. You know, and in that line of assignment, there is a trend that God has put for me. There are people who are influenced. There are people who are following me, and I'm conscious about it. So the way I live my life is dependent on these people, because I know that I will give an account for them one day. So I can't go and stand before God and be telling stories. And that's what moves me. So because God did not call all of us together. You understand? No, it's true. So you know why? Because you can't tell me to follow you and what you're doing. God did not call us together. You understand? He called us specifically. We are unique in our own ways. And then we have a major goal. It's a common goal for all of us. And the common goal is to see that the name of God is glorified. That's the common goal. But there are different ways. There are different ways. When Moses crossed the Red Sea, he used the rod. When the children of Israel crossed River Jordan, they used the ark. When Elijah, you know, so they are different. He used the mantle. So you see these three things, the same
different ways.
Yes,
the name
different
of
ways,
being
glorified. So you see the same thing, different ways. River, sea, pattern, but different ways. But if you decide and walked on it, Jesus came and now walked on it. So if you decide to keep, you know, going into the back because Moses used rod, I must use rod. Do you know? You will. God will be far from you.
Because He has passed that level.
He has passed that level. God will be far from you. But guess what? He's the same God. He never changes.
But His ways
are different. And that's why He says, my ways are not your ways. He said, as far as the east is from the west, so are my ways from yours.
Wow.
So these are, when you understand God like that, God can tell you, go and stand on that place and be shouting and be preaching. You don't know why.
True.
You don't know why. But guess what? You will succeed in your obedience. So you see, rather than following, and so what we're telling young people now is, rather than following the trends, you know, you talked about sagging earlier. You know, sagging started in the prison yard. Most people don't know why, but it now looks like fashion now. And in the prison yard, they didn't have belts. So that's why they were sagging. Their trousers were oversized, so they were coming down. They were, you know, so they came out from prison, and you can imagine prisoners now influencing people who are saying, you know, so sometimes
it's very crazy.
It's very crazy. You know, so it's very appalling, and these are some of the things where people copy. And Satan is happy.
Of course.
Because these are the kind of things he wants to do. So you see, like I said, he doesn't create things, he just infiltrates them. He comes in and then builds it. And don't think Satan is not wise. Satan is very wise. He's a wise guy. These are some of the things that, you know, you can't take. I mean, Satan is wise. And there are some basic trends that have happened so far. Trend in money, trend in sexuality. Because I know these are some of the things that we should even talk about. Trend in sexuality, you know, that is happening now in this generation that we feel should not happen.
But because because there are people who will see as celebrities who are
upholding that kind of thing.
So we now see it as something that we should get ourselves.
So now, how do we solve this problem?
That's where the question.
The problem is creating an alternative system. Okay. The truth is that we are even calling it an alternative system, but it's not supposed to be. It's actually the system.
Yeah.
It's actually the system. We're just using the word alternative because we feel these guys. I don't really like to believe that they have the upper hand. They don't. But it is the system. This is the right system. The right system is a man and a woman. Is Adam and Eve. Not Ada and Steve. You understand? Not Ada and Eve. Not Adam and
Adam
Steve.
and
So you see where we get the trend wrong. So because everybody is doing it, people feel this is the right way. And let me tell you the truth. This is something I've learned in life, and there's a principle that works for me.
Okay.
It is very possible that you will go the wrong way when you are part of the 100 people that are going this direction.
Okay.
If, let's say 100 people are moving in this direction, and you are part of them. It is very possible you're going the wrong way.
Okay.
But they say that it is only about 2% of the world population that are doing things differently. And it is very possible that they are right.
They are right. True.
Yeah.
True.
It is very possible that they are right.
Yes.
So you see, the problem is the crowd is not where the real thing is.
It's not where the real thing is. Yeah.
So you're standing unique. You would think you're standing alone. No, you're not. You would think you're standing alone. You know, Elijah thought he was alone.
But
he was not. Do you understand? He thought he was alone. God has a way of raising an army. And God is raising an army in these last days. These are army of people who are going to take over society, who are going to influence the 7 mountains of society, and then be at the top. The Bible says that in the last days, the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established at the top of the mountains and at the top of the hills, and all nations will flow into it. So you see, we are also in God's trend.
Yeah, true.
And in God's trend is building an alternative system of economy that we will not lack.
Yeah.
You know, not going into fraud and all that. You know, fraud will not give us money. That's the truth.
That's the truth, sir.
So that's the truth. When we follow God's trend, we will be satisfied. So God has an economy for us. God has a fashion for us. God has everything about life for us.
Everything about life.
And when I say us, I mean believers. You know, in case those of them that are listening and don't know, I mean us believers. You understand? The Bible says in Isaiah chapter 60, it said, though darkness shall cover the earth, gross darkness the people. He said, but the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory will be seen. The glory of God is talking about is his splendor, splendor. And it will be visible in these last days.
Very visible.
Very, very visible. These last days, the supernatural is our new normal.
Yes.
The supernatural is our natural habitat now. So these are some of the things that when we as believers know, we are not perturbed about life.
Wow.
We are not perturbed about life. But you see, I was saying earlier, I said, you know, darkness is here.
Is here.
Darkness is here. Gross darkness is also here. You understand? So, are things going to get better? Unfortunately, if you want me to really answer that, I will say no.
Okay. Wow.
But are things going to get better for us as believers?
Yes.
Why? Because God's glory is going to be seen in us. We are the ones that are setting the trends now. This is our era.
Yes.
This is our era. You know, so don't be, you know, as a young person listening to me, don't be perturbed by what other people are doing. And what these guys are doing. They think they are succeeding now. Is a lie. Satan can never give you anything that will make you succeed.
True.
What he wants is your soul.
True.
But God wants you and loves you the way you are. And that's why we're telling young people, come to Jesus, come to God. He is the trend maker, number one trend maker. Number one trend maker. You understand? Come to him and you succeed in life.
Okay, sir. Before we go, you know, you said something, trend comes and goes.
Yes.
No trend stays forever. So since it comes and goes, does it really have any impact on the people? Does it leave the people the same way it met them? Is there any impact?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. So much impact. Trends come with impact. Let me use the most recent one that happened, which is 2020. We were all on lockdown,
Yeah.
and then a lot of things started happening, changes started happening. One of the things that changed at that time was physical contact.
Yes.
So physical contact, people now minimize physical contact. So you see, technology now sprang up. Zoom,
Yeah.
Zoom,
Yeah.
TikTok,
A lot
other
of
things. So a lot of consumption of information happened. You see the rise in content creators and all that.
That's where
2000, that's
content
when content
creation
creators
took
took.
a high.
So the boom of content creation and everything was from 2000. You see, that impact has left us. You know, there are other things that are going to happen. Global trends. You know, so when you observe global trends, you will notice that once they come, they leave an impact. They leave an impact in us. So our ability to understand, either follow or make adjustments, very, very important. But yes, they leave an impact, both positive and negative.
Sorry, I just want to say something about that impact thing. You know, 2020, there was no physical
Yeah, there was no physical
contact anymore. Do you notice that it still happens in the rain?
Yes.
When you want to go and visit someone, say, let
Ah,
me just chat the person
I
on
can
WhatsApp,
Yes,
and
do you understand?
Yeah,
It still
yeah,
happens.
yeah.
That's the
So
impact
there's
it
no
has
need to go
left.
to the person's
There's no
house,
need
like,
to go
just
to the
call
person's
or
house.
say, just video call, that kind of thing, and everything is.
But in a way, it also has a negative.
Yeah, there's a negative
because
side to it.
somebody might be dying. You know, we see a lot of things. You can ask somebody on WhatsApp. Okay, I made a post on Facebook. That was a few days ago. I just talked about something, and I told the person, I just said you'll be fine on that. So somebody replied, "Amen," with a crying emoji. So I looked at it. I just told the person, "Grace and strength will supplied unto you." Then later in the evening, the person chatted me up and was like, "Bishop, I sent you, I commented on your post with a crying emoji. You've not called me to find out what happened." I said, "No, I intended calling you, but I said, let me be done with work." The truth is this, I might have forgotten.
The truth
So
is,
now look at what she told me. She told me that that day, okay, that day was on a Tuesday. That Tuesday was 1 week she lost her newborn baby boy.
wow.
That day was that she just gave birth to the guy. She was in labor for 15 hours. Then, you know, when the guy finally came out, they used oxygen to sustain the guy. And on the day they were supposed to be discharged, that was the day the guy died. Now, if it was in those days, when she told me that thing, I would go to her house. I want to go to her place. But to just believe that this thing can solve a whole lot of things. People cannot really be fine, and yet they will tell you I'm fine. Especially in these days where we have a lot of fake life being displayed
And I
on
feel
social
like people
media.
cannot really express themselves on that.
You know, the truth is, that whole lockdown thing brought affected a lot of emotions. So emotionally, as human beings, we have adjusted.
Yeah.
You understand? You know, giving people a hug now, you know. So emotionally, we have adjusted. You know, and this is what, like we said, we were talking earlier. This is what trend and time causes, because trend, like I said earlier, has time to it.
Yeah.
You know, and with that time that trend comes, it affects the mind of the people. You know, so when it affects the mind of the people, it affects the emotions of the people. It also affects how the people behave, their will. You know, so as it happens, people adjust.
Yeah.
And as soon as they adjust, a lot of things change. You know, so you now going to visit that young lady, you're seeing it as, well, let me just send her a text message. Some people might even say, okay, let me just send her money. You understand? Let me just send her money. It now looks like now money, yes. You know, there are some people who money doesn't really necessarily mean anything to them anymore. You know, so these are some of the things that the impact of these trends and all these things. But God will help us.
Wow.
God will help us.
Trends are really powerful. They have the ability to alter a whole system. They have the ability to alter, perspectives. They have the ability to alter people's attitude and all that. That is why, like Sayuzuna said, we must really be careful how we follow these trends. Okay.
I know why.
I know why. Yes.
Know why.
I know
Knowledge
why.
is important.
It's very important. Know why. You know why? A lot of things have been said in this particular podcast, and if you're a young person out there and you are following anything you see, you better stop right this moment before you follow up any trend. Study to know why. Know the purpose, just like we've discussed. Every trend has a purpose behind it. Every trend has a need that it has been created to solve. So understand, if that need is not within your jurisdiction, leave it. Okay? If it is something that is in line with what God has called you to do, you follow. Don't say this is the way our forefathers did it, so I will remain that way. No, observe what is happening. If the technology we have now is the technology of walking on water, let us learn the technology and walk on water. If it is a technology of, just know. Okay, so with trend, you can really, if you follow trend well, you can make the best out of it, especially when you understand the purpose behind the trend. All right, so before we go, so can you just give us your final word on trend and an advice to the young people who are listening to you today?
I think you've said everything, but just to add more, it's not every trend that is for you.
Yeah.
Not every trend that is for you. Know why God has called you, and know what to be trending. Know the people He has called you, because God calls you with an assignment and for a people. So know why and know the people He has called you for, and then adjust to them.
Wow, powerful. All right, our co-host, what's your final word before we go?
Okay, when darkness gets thicker, light shines brighter. So I just want to tell you, no matter what the negative trend around, if you are a believer like me, just set your own.
Set your trend.
I'm telling you, because God can just tell you something like, okay, now that everybody's wearing short skirts, off shoulder, you can just be decent, and I'm sure you will influence people that you won't even know about. So just be good and don't follow all trends. Know why.
No why. All right, thank you so much, our viewers. Bear this in mind, you're a trendsetter. Yes, you're a trendsetter. Whatever it is you're doing, especially if you're a believer, you're a super trendsetter. Okay, and don't be intimidated with whatever it is you see around you. You can make a whole lot of difference in your sphere of influence. Until we come your way again, my name remains Michael C. George and my co-host Abigail, and we'll be seeing you some other time. If you've not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do well to subscribe. Click the notification button so that you get notifications when videos come up on this channel. Thank you, we love you so much, and for the love of teenagers and young people, we say have a wonderful week ahead. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sayuzon. Thank you.
Thank you for having
It's a
me.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.